Hello, my precious pensive Pisces. Welcome back. As you know, I'm Sachi the Scorpio, and I am here to deliver your guided healing reading for the month of October. Please like, comment, and subscribe. The more energy that you send to me, the more energy that I can send to you. So, Pisces, we are in Libra season. I'm recording this on September 29th, the day that Saturn goes direct. Expect a lot of changes in October. There's a lot going on. We have the Aries full moon coming up. Pluto goes direct October 4th. We have Mercury in Scorpio, and the retrograde starts October 13th. So lots of stuff going on. Mercury retrogrades usually bring people back from the past, okay? So what I got, we're going to check what is out of balance, and then in the extended, we're going to look at how to bring balance, right? Because we're in Libra season. It's all about that balance. So Pisces, in the cleansing ceremony, what came out was the angel of death. So I did feel that there is going to be some sort of end to something. And of course, death always precedes rebirth. So there is some sort of rebirth in process. But right now in October, it kind of looks like it's more of the ending phase in terms of that sort of, you know, cyclical process of birth, death, rebirth. The Knight of Wands came out, which can indicate some sort of travel like the Knight of Wands usually does, but this Knight of Wands specifically is Haiku, which is this Hawaiian demigod and like hero. And so he went into his wife died, and he went into the land of the dead, which is like going into the deep ocean, I believe, in order to get his wife back. So he got some sort of sacred swing or anchor that he was able to go into the oceans to find his wife. She was able to transform into a butterfly, and he captured her and brought her back to land, and then put the butterfly on the corpse of his wife, and she was alive again. So this is a valiant knight who comes back for his sweetheart and is successful. So something could have ended with somebody, and they are coming back to get you, so to speak. I will also say, Pisces, with, so the asteroid DNA is in Scorpio right now, and with Mercury there, communication with Scorpionic forces are going to be, you know, more common. And because the Angel of Death came out with the Knight of Wands Haiku in this deck, it does make me think that it's possible that people who have passed in your life are going to be communicating with you. Your ancestors, anyone that you, most likely ancestors, but also, you know, just the dead in general. And Pisces, because, yeah, because you have, here's the root, Yesod, root connection coming out. Pisces, because, you know, you rule the dream realm and the unseen realm for a reason. It's because you're most tapped into it. So as this veil is very, very thin with Mercury and Scorpio, especially with Neptune retrograding in your natal Pisces, it's very thin, and you're probably going to be the gateway that's going to be picking up on a lot of this stuff. I'll let you know. Meowth came out, and Meowth is the money cat. So I do think that money is going to be a situation involved here, but Meowth using exhausted tackle, this communication from the other side that I was feeling might be a little bit exhausting. So I have a feeling that protecting your own energy is going to be really important for the month of October, so that you aren't exhausted. But for some of you, there is like an ex that's coming back. Yeah. All right. Anyway, like to bring back life into a dead situation is what I get. Anyway, Pisces, sorry for that long intro, but you know, I always tap like so deep into you guys, and I love it. So let's get started. Let's see what is out of balance for our Pisces Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus for the month of October. What's out of balance here? We have the Angel of Divination in reverse, so Esubis. So what I'm getting is that some of you might be using, you know, might be watching too many tarot videos. Like, I'm just going to put it out there, like, that can be a thing. So it looks like divination, like you might be getting things from the other side, and it might be really overwhelming. For some of you, it's, you know, doing too much tarot, watching too much tarot, getting too deep into the divination, because as you know, like the veil is going to be so thin, and because it's going to be so thin, you know, messages are just going to be freaking everywhere. Like, seriously. So, and Pisces, because you're so tapped into the unseen realm, it might just be, it might be a lot. Let's see. Tell us more. Why is the Angel of Divination in reverse? Why is the Angel of Divination in reverse? Woo. We have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, the undead. Straight up, Pisces. Wow, you guys always get the coolest shit. So, you know, the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. The Queen of Pentacles is that, you know, divine feminine when it comes to, you know, the physical. But this Queen of Pentacles specifically is the one that, you know, she wears she has the clock, right? The sacred clock, and it's, you know, it's the snow that comes to freeze the crops in order to, you know, to kill them, right? The dead, like the plants will die, but what happens to the plants, right? They're reborn again. So the Queen of Pentacles does indicate this very real ending process, but, you know, very well knowing that there is going to be a next season, right? There is going to be a spring, but because it's in reverse, it's like, it's things that did not frost over is what I'm hearing. Woo! Pisces, what is the light energy here? Oh, that was quick. Altaria using clear humming. Yeah, straight up, like clear humming. What I'm getting is you are very much going to be psychically downloading, you know, the other side. It's probably going to be very, very clear for you. Altaria is also, like, usually in the clouds. I associate it because it's a bird, you know, it has to do with communication, and the clouds, kind of like being up in the clouds. So you might be getting, you know, some divine downloads from, you know, archangels or whatever it may be, right? Ancestors, people in what you might term, you know, heaven. So very much angelic, like divine intervention sort of situation. It says, and you want to know what's funny? Like, I'm just seeing like how the crown chakra is being affected there, as like Metatron's cube is there. And I get that it's kind of like, yeah, these just like downloads from the other side. Intense. Okay. On sunny days, it flies freely through the sky and blends into the clouds. It sings in a beautiful soprano. So it's talking about flying freely through the sky. Some of you might be astrally projecting a little bit more often. You might be having dreams. Part of this might be your dream state and what information you are getting from that. It is a sign of a beautiful, or it sings a beautiful soprano. So you might be getting a lot of messages through music, actually, like songs that randomly pop up in your head might be giving you a lot of messages from the other side, like straight up, Pisces. Wow, what is the shadow here? Wild. Trainer energy switch. So yeah, someone has had a change of heart here, another person. Trainer always indicates the other person. An energy switch tells me they've had a change of heart since this is the heart chakra. So, woohoo! Someone has had a change of hearts. So, it didn't really feel kind of like the other side that I've been getting here. It's possible that someone will, you know, astrally contact you, or, you know, a past loved one is going to say, like, I have a change of heart about something, but this really feels like a separate person that has a change of heart. It felt a little bit more romantic. All right, let's see. What else is out of balance here? Honestly, that looks, I don't know, I think it's cool, but I'm a Scorpio. Dot, which is null and emptiness. So there is some sort of void feeling of, yeah, I'm not sure. Like, so, well, So for some reason, whatever is happening here in the messages that you're getting, it might make you feel like, I don't know, like, it's not that I don't know, there's so many different things. I did feel like a fast here, and that a lot of you really need to be wary of your eating habits and to make sure that you are not making yourself feel empty. And for some of you that you feel empty, what are you filling it with? I really, when this came out, it felt less about the emptiness and more about what is trying to fill the void here. So just be very careful, especially because when all of these spirits are high on the other side, you need to make sure that you remain you consistently, if you know what I mean. So, oh, Pisces, your energy is always something else. I love it. So yes, be very careful, be protective. It was funny because before I started your read, I had a card sitting out here that I had taken a picture of for a private reading, and it was the meditation card, and I definitely got some meditative energy here. For some of you, a great way to obtain this information is through fasting, but I would only if you are, you know, a professional at channeling should you do that. But let's see what wanted to pop out here. The Two of Pentacles. Yeah, so I'm going to leave it out because it did want to make sense, but I'm getting more of, you know, in terms of that fasting comment with the Two of Pentacles coming out stuck. Only if you are very balanced should you do that. If you, you know, ask yourself, like, am I balanced enough to really do a cleanse to channel, you know, the other side? If it's a yes, then it's a yes. If you hesitate, it's most likely a no, right? This is something that as a Pisces, you would know if you are balanced enough to, you know, engage in that kind of activity. So yeah, definitely only a suggestion for those of you who are balanced with their divine feminine and divine masculine energies. All right, but let's see. Tell us more about this emptiness. We have the Sun in reverse. So, with the Sun in reverse, this is very much, I mean, okay, so we just had the fall equinox, right? Which signals that there's going to be less light than there is dark, right? We're going to have more darkness from now on. Very much, you know, Mohrbacher that just happened does indicate, you know, like the first frost in a lot of places where it's like, yep, it's time, you know, the crops are gone and good luck for the winter, right? And because there is less sun, what I feel is that there is some sort of kind of deficiency in terms of the sunlight that you're getting. And Pisces, I mean, you know, you need a bunch of sunlight because you're automatically tapped into the unseen. And the unseen, it's not dark, but it has its darkness, right? It's because it's unseen, it can be seen as the shadow realm in general. And because you're so tapped into that shadow world, you know, being in the light, being outside and getting sunlight is so important. So, you know, just make sure, yeah, just be wary. But let's see, what's the light energy? So it looks like the fact that there is less sunlight now is really going to be affecting you in October. It's Rhyhorn using horn drill. So this is a fighting energy. I feel like there could be fighting maybe about sex here, because horn drill I always take as someone who's like horny that ends up drilling someone, right? So because of this, there could be some sort of fight about maybe sexual encounters with somebody. It says strong, but not too bright. This Pokemon can shatter even a skyscraper with its charging tackles. Yeah, so it talks about being strong, but not too bright. And I don't take that in a mental sense in any way. What I'm getting is with the Sun in reverse, there's not enough brightness, right? Like not enough light that, you know, it might cause you to be more irritable and, you know, maybe not want to be as intimate. Or, you know, like your libido might be down, or yeah, just like the tackle, it might make you more irritable, more likely to attack other people. What's the shadow here? Especially if you're not careful, if you are leaving spaces, if you feel like you are not whole, right, then things are going to try to get in there, right? If you feel like you're not a whole human being, what's going to be put in there? Is it addiction? Is it shame? Is it something over there, right, that Pisces can tap into? So you need to make sure that you remind yourself, even if you just do a quick like 15-second meditation every morning where you just like sit cross-legged and just tell yourself like, I am whole. Boom. Like that can change your life if you repeat that every day, right? It's not these grand gestures that bring us into wholeness. It's really, you know, consistency of small life choices like that. So anyway, we have Porygon using data check. So it does look like there are going to be some arguments here that have to do with the facts is what I'm hearing. Like, no, I'm right because, you know, look, we can check the data, right? And as we are seeing with this split reality that's going on where, you know, there's really nothing you can do to, there are some people that you can give them all the facts, you can give them all the evidence, and they will still choose to be in their own world, right? And Pisces, more than anyone, you probably understand the saying that, you know, reality is what you make it, life's what you make it. Like, you're manifesting your reality. There's no such thing as like a truth with a capital T, right? Because you understand that emotional duality and, you know, like how two people can feel a different way, but it's really part of one central theme, right? That's, as Pisces, as two fish, that's one of your gifts. And so you get it, but it does look like things get, there's some fighting energy where things get a little bit hot and heavy. And it's very much like you might become a little bit rigid and even get in your ego like, no, let's check the facts here. When, as you can see, it's because of the water. There still is, you know, some water energy. I do feel like you might want, like, you become a little bit more protective of yourself, right? This is a moat. So it's like a way to protect the castle, a way to protect, you know, your home space. But yeah, definitely feel some ego stuff going on here. It says, a Pokemon that consists entirely of programming code. It is capable of moving freely in cyberspace. For some of you, this is in cyberspace, right, on the internet. So be very mindful of your energy. I feel like there's going to be a lot of things that are going to trigger you, and you have to find out, like, why do I feel so triggered? What part of myself is unhealed here when this pops up of yeah. And it talks about being, you know, consisting of entirely code, and that's really truly all we are, right? So what codes do you have that make you feel like you are not whole, right? We're all just, yes, we are fluid spiritual entities, but in terms of the way our soul gets programmed through the human experience, it's very much based on these programs that are taught to us about who we are and what we're supposed to do, and, you know, how to react when someone treats you this way or that way, right? They're all codes, they're all neural networks that somehow we've been taught to behave a certain way, or it's a new experience that we've never been taught to, and how do we handle that? Do we descend into chaos, or do we go into our logical mind, or do we go with our intuitional body, right? Our emotional body. So it's really just a bunch of programs. So you need to remember everyone is programmed differently here, and to understand that when these fights pop up, exactly, you know, notice them for what they are, right? It's going to be two people who have an unhealed wound because they feel like, you know, they're not whole, right? And there's going to be some arguments. I mean, it's the sun in reverse. I'm not going to lie to you, Pisces. It's not the greatest situation to be in. Okay. Let's see what else is out of balance. Okay, going right to the sun in reverse. We have the angel of flame, Uriel, in reverse. So for some of you, this is part of your twin flame journey. This is my angel that does indicate the twin flame. So it could have to do with that, but with the sun and the flame in reverse, I really feel like it's just the fire. Like, your fire might not be as bright as usual, and it's because you're not taking in enough light and enough sunlight, which is, you know, that's what happens when we enter the dark phases. So we have to make sure that we remember how to, you know, bring joy and keep this flame up, because it looks like on the path, currently, if something does not change here, it looks like your light gets a little bit, I don't want to say not as bright, because it's not like that, but if you're spending all your time arguing with people about what is true and what is false instead of focusing on manifesting the reality that you want, right, your flame isn't being used for your highest path. So it's not that your flame is dim or anything like that. It's just that you're not using it, right? You're letting a little bit more of the darkness consume you. Okay, not in a bad way, like, oh, the darkness consumes me. Although I'm guessing you would understand that too, Pisces, but it doesn't feel like that. All right, let's see. You guys crack me up. I love your energy. All right, let's see what this angel of flame in reverse tells us more. We have the Four of Pentacles, we have the Six of Wands in reverse, and the Ten of Wands in reverse. So yeah, this is definitely a cycle that has not ended yet between you and another person. And because it's a 10, right, because 9 is when you complete it within yourself. 10 is when you complete it with another person. So it looks like you are in this cycle with another person, possibly with your twin flame here, where this 10 of Wands is when you're like enslaved kind of to like a capitalistic society, I'll say. It's when the dead even become servants, and, you know, they get called upon by the, you know, powerful voice, and they get up and do their work. And it's really being doomed to, you know, go through these motions on a set scale because someone else is in charge here. You know, just very much enslaved to a certain cycle here. So that has not been completed yet. And it looks like it has to do with some sort of, it could be a time situation, but with the Four of Pentacles, this has to do with the physical foundation of things. So, you know, how, you know, pentacles, money, housing, anything tangible, it's really the foundation of those things. With 4, we also have, you know, Cancerian energy here, so it very much has to do with aspects of home, or, you know, our mother roots, our mother wounds as well. But this story in general, these are beings in the Aboriginal tradition. They don't have mouths, because if their mouths opened, it would flood, but they brought rain. So what I'm getting is that there's going to be some rainy days here, but it's not going to be a flood. But with the Six of Wands in reverse, it looks like kind of like not a party, because Six of Wands upright, this is everyone rejoicing. And, you know, in this card, they're like astrally projecting. So it looks like, you know, maybe partying or getting jiggy with it. In terms of the substances, Pisces, I already know it, you know what I'm talking about. That cycle in terms of the physical foundation still has not been completed here. What is the light energy? That was just the weird, you guys always get me in these weird feelings. I love it. We got some water here, and it looks like there's a lot of water, right? There's rain coming. So there's a lot of water here, which is why this flame isn't necessarily being diverted where it needs to. And it might be because there's some sort of, you know, protective barrier around the kingdom. Excuse me. So Shelter Clamp in reverse and Epic Splash in reverse. So this could be about someone who isn't necessarily attached. This is like emotionally detaching is what I'm hearing. And with Epic Splash in reverse, this is not something that's just going to be like a splish splash. This is going to be some like rainstorms. It's not going to be a flood because someone's not necessarily opening their mouth here. These are two Pokemon with mouths that aren't open, and this has to do with like, you know, they don't open their mouths. They bring rain. When you see them, you know rain is coming, but they don't have mouths so that it doesn't flood here. And this is also, as you can see, they're walking through water in a flood. So yeah, someone's still not opening their mouth, and there's some aspect of non-attachment. It says, clamping onto an opponent reveals its vulnerable parts. So it uses this move only as a last resort. So it talks about, you know, clamping onto vulnerable parts. And like I said here with these conversations, you know, parts of ourselves that we don't think are whole or that we, you know, don't love about ourselves. Someone, you know, I feel like the debates could probably go around that, right? Because it's all vulnerable parts. And I feel like there is some aspect of vulnerability, especially if this is your twin flame here, where, you know, there's non-attachment and it's really making you feel extremely vulnerable in the situation, right? Because it's like, why not? So, you know, it's like you try to create this list of like why something isn't happening, and that's not good, right? That's not a good physical foundation. It says, in the distant past, it was somewhat stronger than the horribly weak descendants that exist today. Woof. All right. Well, in terms of like the horribly weak descendants, and I'm sorry to say that, it does look like once again some ancestors might come out and they might be angry. I don't feel like it's at you. You might be picking up on other people's ancestors that are angry, but definitely like there is some energy of our ancestors being like, what the actual F is everyone doing here? Like, woof, woof. So again, because of that, right, it might make you want to fight with people because ancestors are going to come back and be like, what the fuck? Why aren't you doing, excuse my language, like, why aren't you fighting like you're supposed to fight, right? Like, it's about having this person that just tells the dead what to do, right? And it's like our ancestors are like, are you still allowing this system to continue like this, like on a high scale, right? And like the physical foundation of things, how things work with time, the systems that we have, and yeah, the integration, you know, without our soul body into society. It's a lot. And when your ancestors or other people's ancestors in general are going to be talking about that, it's definitely going to agitate some, right? Unless you are extremely balanced in your masculine and feminine right now, you know, it's going to steal some of this light from you. What's the shadow here? We have trainer using devoured field. So yeah, this is about unnecessary taking. This is about what we're doing to our world, right? A devoured field. Again, you know, this is about, you know, the snow coming of the crops. And I'm really feeling it's about, you know, how we've treated the fields of our entire humanity, right? The entire planet. This is very much a global discontent from our ancestors is what I'm picking up on. Holy schmoly. That was intense. And, you know, for those of you on your twin flame journey, that same energy can be superimposed on your relationship is what I'm feeling. There's a lot of ancestral, like, what? So... whew. All right. Well, Pisces, that was intense AF. Like I said, if you want to take a look into how to bring balance to this situation, the link is in the extended. But let's see what can help on your guided healing journey. Great Spirit, please show us what can help Pisces. I did see like healing sounds pop up. So again, I do think a lot in music is really going to be coming out to you. We have celebration, the dove, and this is very much like Altaria. Like, it's very much that bird, dove energy of like this humming, of singing. So I do think, you know, remember that you are going to be getting those messages in terms of, you know, through music. And also, because I saw healing sounds, make sure you are, you know, integrating healthy sounds into your body so that it's being programmed in a good way, right? So we have celebration. Celebration is like the dove indicates a rebirth. So there is going to be some reason to celebrate. You know, just make sure that you stay in kind of a higher vibration, celebratory energy of celebrating all the positive things in life, especially as, you know, some of this BS comes at you. Okay. So, something precious bursts to life and a dream comes true. That which you have wanted for so long now becomes reality. This is the time for celebration, a time to contemplate the very nature of life and your purpose on this earth. Give thanks to Mother Earth and the universe for their help and blessings. There is no greater show of gratitude than a life lived in joyous surrender and celebration of the marvel of existence we are all part of. You are accepted as well and welcomed as each breath you take. So embrace your summons to live and rejoice. Take up hands, hearts, and mind, and let your celebration be a reminder of the generous opportunity we have all been graced with, life. Yeah, you know, like I said, Pisces, you really understand that life is more of a spiritual experience than anything. But it looks like because the ancestors are so pissed, like the dead are just grumbling. And Pisces, I'm sorry, as psychic as you are, you're going to be picking up on it. And it makes you want to fight with people about the facts rather than celebrating in the joy of what life really is to be a human and things like that. I mean, yes, the ancestors are pissed for a very good reason. There are other people who have devoured our fields, right? And it looks like your twin may have done the same thing. But remember to stay in this celebratory energy. That's how we manifest what we really want. And Spirit's really calling you to try to focus on what you're trying to manifest rather than, you know, fighting with people who are just jealous of your light or that trigger you to make you feel like you aren't whole. So Pisces, like I said, if you are interested in some advice on how to bring balance to the situation, the link is in the description box below. If we part here, I am sending you so much love, a big hug, and a kiss on your third eye. Mwah!